We have always wondered what arcane breaches of natural law were keeping Ekkunar's pieces together. Royal we, of course. But now, we may have a clue. There is a signal emanating from deep within the planet's core.
What sort of signal?
It isn't like any sort of transmission we use. It's more of a continuous pan-dimensional polyvibration with a phasic magnitude that exceeds the Swazowski limit.
Right. That.
As I said, it's a signal. And we are going to investigate.
We are dropping you off at the lowest relative depth Nova's engines can sustain lift. That cleft in the rock is the entrance to an Ostanti ruin. Make your way through and find the source of the signal. Mind your step. Wouldn't want you falling. But if you do, take notes. The Ostanti lived tens of thousands of years ago, predating even the Generate. We still don't know what...
This dig site has been commandeered by Imperium forces. You are trespassing.
Oh, it seems we are not the first to notice the signal.
You can hear it too?
One down. Keep this up. We cannot let the thrall get there first.
Get where? Do you know what's down there? Come on, tell us!
What? No. One more to go. Hurry up. We must be the first to reach the anomaly.
Anomaly? What is that? Is that what's in our heads? It calls to us.
Well done. That jump pad should be functional now.
You ain't not going nowhere. The voice is ours. It's calling us, not you.
Titanium ankle joints?
My scans of the cavern are picking up an elevator. It should take you deeper into the core.
Turn back.
Did that Varelsi just speak? Well, diplomacy doesn't seem to be on their minds after all. Wipe them out! Direct communication? This is most perturbatory. Activate the elevator and continue the expedition. The signal is coming from a room carved deep into the rock. The archaeologist who first discovered this place erected a series of shields before leaving, presumably to protect their find from robbers and rival scientists. I'm detecting a lot of movement in the cavern ahead. Try and take down the shards powering the shields as quickly as you can. The first shield is down. Push forward. Second shield down. Hurry or you'll be overwhelmed. Third shield down. How odd that they put the power sources in front of the shields. You know, you'd think if they were trying to keep people out, they'd put them on the other side. That light! It completely destroyed the Varelsi. Could the Ostanti have encountered the Varelsi in their time? I mean, it seems unlikely given the eons between their era and ours, but it bears further study. Egad! The shields weren't to keep people out. They were to seal this monstrosity in! Oh. Seems a bit obvious now, really. Kill it! Good show all around, everyone. Oh, now the real fun begins. Collecting, cleaning, tagging, cataloging, and meticulously preserving every piece of these ruins. You enjoy the archiving, Miss Hemsworth. I'll be investigating the real questions here. Beatrix, who said you could horn in on my expedition? And, what questions would those be? Oh, I don't know. Maybe why that 40,000-year-old golem created by a race more advanced than we could ever dream looks intriguingly like a thrall. If we intend to find out what connection the thrall have with this ruin, then... Beatrix, this is my expedition, and I am calling the shots. Oh, by all means, Miss Hemsworth. Knock yourself out. Good. Thank you. All right. Let's find out what the Thrall are doing here. Yoo-hoo! Mr. Thrall? Are you still here?
This dig site has been commandeered by...
Right. Imperium forces, yada yada. You said before you could hear the signal coming from this place. What does it sound like?
Like this lady trespassing on our property?
Bother. We'd really only take a moment of your time.
Bugger off!
Not quite as savant when it comes to interpersonal skills, are we? Oh, shut up! You, Thrall, what is its rank?
What? Captain, Mum?
Excellent. Tell us, what does it hear?
The voice, Mum. It calls us. All Thrall. Had to come to Ekkunar. Had to return. So loud. So loud.
I think that's all we'll get out of him. Dispose of the rest and make your way across the chasm. Dr. Lukavi, you are quite the piece of work. My scans of the cavern are picking up an elevator. It should take you deeper into the core.
Another ops point. Look at you go.
There's a new development. I wonder if all Varelsi possess telepathic abilities or just these apex specimens. Oh, I'd just love to crack one open. Shame they dissolve upon death, but then that's why I always prefer vivisection to dissection. Well, that and the sounds. Well, Beatrix, we appear to have this covered, so thank you for all your help. You may leave now. Not a problem, but I'll stick around for when you require my further expertise. Oh. That light must have four-dimensional phasic resonance to affect the Varelsi in that way. Fascinating. How could you possibly know that? Just theorizing, Miss Hemsworth. It's the scientific method at work. Ah! Fascinating. Now that I see it up close, the construct more closely resembles the Thrall before I modified their genome. Macrobrachus cornifaustus, the Tempestian Greyhorn. Oh, good! Kill it! If only the Astanti had left behind any writings or records, any hint of what that construct was guarding down here. As luck, or perhaps genius, would have it, I know an expert on the Astanti. More of an expert than you? Color me surprised. Well, you know what they say. You don't know an ancient species until you walk a mile in their skeleton. Kelvin, I was hoping you could offer us some insight on the Astanti.
They have very roomy skeletons.
Well, that's not very helpful.
This place makes me vibrate.
Okay, that is far more than I needed to know.
No, fool. I mean the very bones that form my body are singing in harmony with the stones of the mountain.
Yeah, that isn't much clearer, honestly. My word! That's the missing link between the Astanti and the modern Thrall. Oh, it's one of a kind.
Sounds like a perfect time to earn some ops points. Kill it.
Oh well. Try and save its corpse for study at least.
These Thrall are crazed. Perhaps they too are vibrating.
One of them did mention hearing a voice.
I hear no voice, but perhaps meat is required.
What do you mean, meat?
Thinking meat. Brains, you call them. The Thrall might be experiencing the same thing I am, but their meat bodies and meat minds can translate it into a message.
What message, though?
The same as fish traveling upstream to spawn. Come home. Belongs to us.
What does? What belongs to you? Wait, come back!
Wasn't the start of a conversation, I guess.
They wouldn't break years of silence arbitrarily. There must be a reason beyond mere intimidation.
The vibration is intensifying. Sensation is intriguing.
Oh. Ugh.
I cannot tell if it is meant to excite or to warn.
A bit of both, judging by the temperament of the thralls.
Dragon is victorious to
The
nobody's
light
great
sings
surprise.
along to the same tune.
Oh, fascinating. Perhaps the light and the signal share a power source.
This thing gives me the bone shivers. Get rid of it.
Oh, good. You're all still alive. I was wondering, Kevin, if I could ask a favor of you.
Kelvin, and you may ask.
You see, Kevin, I have a theory, and I will need to run some tests in order to confirm it. May I borrow just the tiniest smidgen of your bones? Well, Beatrix, what did your tests show you? Something has been gnawing at me since this all began, and for once it wasn't something that escaped from its jar. It was a suspicion, which now, thanks to Kevin, I have confirmed.
You are welcome. And it's Kelvin.
I compared the genetic code of the Astanti sample I got from Kevin with that of the Thrall. And they are related? Related? No, Miss Hemsworth. They're a perfect match. What? That's impossible. You're telling me these brutes are the same species that built this place before the first Generate smacked two rocks together? In layman's terms, yes. Huh. Quite the trade down. When I first investigated the Proto-Thrall, I uncovered a treasure trove of seemingly dormant portions of their genetic code. Untapped potential for intelligence, strength, and lifespans far in excess of where their species was at the time. Of course, I only activated a careful selection to keep them as useful servants. Looking back, it seems obvious now. Most species have excess code in their DNA, but these genes held the blueprints for beings far beyond the drooling primitives they've been taken from. I should have known then that they came from hardier stock. Bossy, aren't they?
I just made up the hell so I know where you're
Get
going.
in their way.
Right?
Oh, I do hope we haven't inconvenienced them too dearly. So if the Thrall are, or rather were, the Astanti, and something in these ruins is calling them home, the next question is clear. Why? The light seems to not simply destroy the Varelsi, but actually unbind their matter from this universe. They denature before our eyes like a jelly slug in a lithium perchlorate bath. Ah, science fair. What could this room have been intended for? How long has this portal been here? Long story short, Atticus threw me out of an airlock, and now we don't chat much. What? How did you survive? Oh, please. I replaced my lungs centuries ago. You really are the creepiest person I know.
If it is true that the Varelsi spoke to you, then I will join you on this mission.
Do you plan on making contact yourself?
They have much to answer for. What have you discovered since you...
This dig site has been commandeered by Imperium forces. You are trespassing.
Shut up! I hate your voice!
You're not so light on the ears either, trader.
So, the Thrall are the descendants of the Astanti.
Well, genetically speaking, they are the Astanti. The work Beatrix did simply reactivated genes that for some reason had gone dormant. All I needed to do was flick the switch, and they went from non-sentient beasts to soldiers capable of wielding our weapons. Why do the Thralls still fight for the Imperium even after Rendane is gone? They are mentally incapable of breaking away from a strong leader. It took Atticus demonstrating that he was stronger than the Silent Sisters to break away even a small portion of the population.
Enslavement of the Thrall was the first crack in the great edifice of Lenore's empire.
You didn't have many qualms while our newly bred armies brought hundreds of planets under our control.
Yes, I should have spoken up. Yet one more way in which I failed the Empress.
Empress walks the void.
How dare you even speak of her? Destroy them! Wring the blood of trillions from their hands!
Well, one way to make contact.
What did it mean? Was it taunting me?
Their intentions still elude me.
I will tear a path into the wretched dimension with my bare hands if it means getting answers. Back to the shadows! You see, they fear the light as only cowards can. Only in darkness can they strike those more powerful than them. It's guarding that portal. We must destroy it!
This machine is far too complex for even my mind to comprehend its inner mechanisms.
We are dealing with a threat more ancient than we can understand.
A shame the Thrall are unable to tell us how their ancestors built this device or for what purpose.
There is one who is old enough to know. One and many. Miko, we require your consensus on an important matter.
Yes. The song is keen and clear to us.
So you can hear it as well?
We do not need ears to hear what has no sound.
We are attempting to discern the purpose of these ruins, and the proper place to start is at the beginning.
We remember the beginning. Before the song, when there was silence that could not be heard.
When did you start hearing the not sound?
Which metrics do you desire? We perceive the river of time differently than you do.
Days?
40,000 years ago.
You mean to say that you've been hearing this sound, the signal coming from these ruins, since the height of the Ostanti Empire?
Yes.
And you never mentioned it to anyone?
It did not make for interesting conversation.
Do you know what the Ostanti did that began this song?
No, we were not present. We know only that the song began. Then their murmur receded, even as the soundless tone continued.
Sounds like the worst case of tinnitus in recorded history. Rendane joined you. How did that work out for him?
Joining is harmony. Subservience is discord.
Steal our stars, murder trillions. The Varelsi have an odd way of inviting us to join them.
The song is not one voice, but two, singing in harmony.
Well, what does that mean?
It is what we hear. We do not know what it means. The light sings in chorus.
Kelvin made a similar observation.
It is a counterpoint, negating. This construct is as old as the song. It will defend until annihilation.
That portal, could it be the source of the song you hear?
Yes, two universes, carrying a soundless duet across all things.
But that would predate the first contact with the Varelsi by 20,000 years. Perhaps we should amend that to first known contact. The Varelsi have been invading our universe for thousands of years, but the portal technology in this ruin predates them by thousands more. We should investigate this further.
Shadow walkers came here to steal stars. How did they know to come?
And how many other universes fell to them before us?
We assumed Varelsi found us. What if instead they were the ones found?
What do you mean?
Spiders do not search for prey. Prey comes to the spiders.
You're suggesting that the Ostanti were the ones that breached the Varelsi universe, not the other way around.
It is a theory.
Oh, the timeline supports it. But what happened to the Ostanti between then and now? What caused their entire civilization to decline so rapidly after they made contact? There's no evidence of a Varelsi invasion in that time period.
Perhaps the wound was self-inflicted.
excuse me, a Hemsworth is never late. I do believe they are trying to scare us. Show them how well that's worked so far. Never too late to teach your enemies the agony of defeat.
Mikolopria is right. There is one way a species could fall so quickly. A bespoke retrovirus tailored to rewrite segments of their genetic code.
The Ostanti de-evolved themselves on purpose. What? That's inconceivable!
Effective way to keep a secret.
The Varelsi were clearly no match for the Ostanti. It was their own dimensional gate technology that threatened the entirety of existence.
This construct is the last handiwork of the Ostanti. Shame to break it.
It's still trying to kill us. This portal, this door into the Varelsi universe, it must be the original breach. This is where the Ostanti made first contact with the Varelsi.
And were so horrified by the implications that they immediately slammed it shut, then scuttled their entire civilizations that no one else could ever develop the same technology.
And here we are, trying to decide what to do with it. We should go down there and destroy this ancient portal device, if it's truly as powerful and dangerous as you say.
That could be an irrevocable mistake. We need to better understand this technology before we decide to destroy it. What do we truly know about how Varelsi portals work?
Only what we've seen them do to countless planets and stars.
Exactly. We have only ever observed the process and never the result. We have largely been operating under the assumption that the planets and stars veiled by the Varelsi are destroyed in the process.
What do you mean, assumption? I've seen it with my own eyes. No living thing could survive the energy released by a veiling.
And yet, we commonly see individual Varelsi step out of portals, unharmed by the massive energy discharges necessary to hold open a portal from one universe to another.
Are you suggesting that all the planets, all the people on them that were taken,
may well remain alive on the other side of those portals?
preposterous?
Nuisance!
I will continue to be a nuisance to you until one of us is no more!
Any opportunity to upend the Varelsi's plans. We appear to be frustrating them. Good.
Do you truly believe that people could have survived on the other side of the veil?
The secrets held by these ruins changed a great many of our preconceptions. I can no longer be sure. The light unbinds them from this reality, like a permit being revoked. Or a doctor's license. Beatrix. Well, there's about 3 tons of golem between you and that portal. Have at it.
The portal remains closed. For now.
You almost sound disappointed. I believe I have figured out why the Varelsi are so interested in the original portal. It is imperative that we go down there and prevent them from reaching it. I theorize that while the Varelsi have the ability to create portals between their universe and ours, they themselves cannot breach into other universes.
Which the Ostanti were able to do all those years ago.
Exactly. The Ostanti open the door for them. The Varelsi want the master key.
Why would the Ostanti have left the portal device intact if they went through such trouble to hide all evidence of it ever existing?
Because it was the original device keeping the portal shut. They must have hoped that keeping that door closed would be enough. They were wrong.
If the portal was kept closed, how did the Shadow Walkers return?
The first portal was just the beginning. Linking the 2 universes inextricably tethered them together, making them much more easily accessible to one another. It took the Varelsi millennia to figure it out, but they eventually tunneled back into our universe.
And now that they have bled this one dry, they are eager to get to another.
Precisely. And the only remaining device able to do so lies at the heart of this ruin.
Stop this!
Desperation in their voices.
Careful. A desperate enemy is far deadlier than a confident one. That should slow them down for a bit.
Well, I think we can all agree that if the Varelsi want something, we should do our utmost to prevent them from getting it.
Cheers to that.
Varelsi down!
Clears our path. Forward.
Knowing that this thing was put here to protect the universe does not endear me to it.
The device is shut down, but the portal remains closed. Perhaps it lacks the energy required to fully open.
We must decide on a course of action.
Much is at stake.
I'll just do whatever you guys do.
We cannot allow the Varelsi to obtain this technology. In their hands, it would be the doom of infinite realities.
But if we destroy the device, there may never be another chance to retrieve those who have been veiled.
I find it most interesting that
This dig site is being commandeered by Imperium forces. You are trespassing. This guy again? Hey, Thrall, your commander is dead. Rendane is gone. Come and say that to my face.
Ahem. As I was saying, it is quite interesting that the signal from the portal only became noticeable to others besides Miko recently. It's an unknown variable.
What are you suggesting?
Of the possible influences on the portal, none had occurred before this mission due to the protection by the Astante construct. Only remaining potentiality is that something is affecting it from the other side.
You suggest these manipulations are the work of the Shadow Walkers?
Not at all. They can make portals into our world at any time they choose.
Lenore! The Empress is trying to return!
Let's not be hasty. We're into the core.
Must fight.
Ooh, fight, you say?
Oh, story nerd.
Give them what they ask for, I suppose.
Communications still confuse me. I wonder what they're trying to accomplish.
The Empress is a scientific genius. If anyone could figure out that there was a stable portal back from the Veil, it would be her.
Someone is knocking on the door to the universe, and your idea is to let them in?
Sounds bad when you say it like that.
There! The portal's energy readings are stronger than they've ever been. You have to defeat this thing for good. Something is wrong. The portal isn't subsiding. Wait, what's that?
Hi.